Okay. We did not intend on filming this, but we started talking about Umbrella Academy.
And then we were like, we should film this.
So here's us spoilery talking about the show and the first graphic novel. We've not read the second one yet, but we will.
Yes.
So we just wanted to talk about it. So
all of season 1.
Yep.
Of the Umbrella Academy.
Yep.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Christina.
And you're watching
Game of Tomes.
Okay, so I just finished the Umbrella Academy television show.
Yeah.
Today, this morning.
I watched it, I binged it in 2 days, a couple weeks ago. But then I read the graphic novel after.
Okay, I read the graphic novel first, and I'm super glad that I did it because I really liked the way they did things in the television show better.
I did too.
And I felt like if I had read the graphic novel afterwards, that I would have been disappointed in it. So I did enjoy my graphic novel experience, but with the television show, everything just was so much more developed as you can be in that medium.
See, and that's kind of the experience that I had. I have not read the second graphic novel yet, and I do want to. And you haven't read it yet either, but we got Hoopla recently, and oh my gosh, the amount of graphic novels on there is so nice because our local library does not carry them, and Overdrive does not really have a way that you can read them because Kindles are in black and white, and you can't really zoom in,
I've read 6 graphic novels already.
Which is awesome.
I've just been going through them, and they're just all ones that I've been wanting to read and just haven't been able to.
Yeah, because our only other option is, like, to buy them. And, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I do want graphic novels, but I don't want to buy them, you know? Not every single one that I want to read.
Right.
So, anyway, I do want to read the second one, but... oh, it's just my water. I got scared. Okay, so because I watched the television show first, and I really did love it, when I read the graphic novel, I was like, wow, it's different, which, of course, you know. So my biggest issue was that in the TV show, Vanya's actions felt like a lot more real and relatable.
For sure.
And in the comic series, it was like one little moment, and
they were like,
she was like, boom!
Yeah, they were like, go, bye.
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore.
Right.
And then she gets transformed by someone else
Yeah!
into a super.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the new dynamic is she's always had this power and it was suppressed with a pill this whole time.
Because it always depended on her mood and etc. Which, if you think about it, a little kid, like, maybe not the best choice.
Well, when they,
I mean,
I hated the fact that they did that to her. But then you see her like kill all of her nannies.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. I really like the show. So, the dad, oh my gosh, hands down, he seems like a just horrible person.
Twat.
But you see him trying to work with her. And so, I will give him that. Like, he definitely did try to get her to understand her power and to work with it. But when you're dealing with kids don't understand. Kids don't know. And kids just want what they want when they want it. And, I can't knock him for medicating her, but at the same time, like, maybe when she was older you could have told her.
Yeah.
You know? Right. When she was more in control of her emotions and knew how to handle emotions. Because when you're a kid, kids don't know how to handle emotions, obviously. They don't understand. But
what is Juno's name in real life? What is her name?
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page, thank you.
I love that they picked her, too.
I do, too. She was so great.
She's so good.
And
so good.
I thought they were going to put her in spandex, and they didn't, which is fine. I really like how they did it in the show where her tux turned white.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't put in spandex.
Yeah.
But it was
and I kind of also appreciate that about Ellen. She's always been, like, very open and active in the LGBT community.
Well, she's gay.
Right. And so I feel like
she wouldn't be like a vixen in
spandex.
She
brings like her own personality into this character, I think, and so I'm like, I like that, because in the comic series she's got like a pixie cut, and I don't know, because she's not even really like there in the comic series, I feel like. I mean, she is, obviously, but...
At the end, though, it's like...
Yeah, it was just... Also, in the TV show, there's the romance between Moon Boy and...
Oh, yeah. Let's get there. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that Ellen Page's acting, when she slits her sister's throat... I got scared for a second. Like, legit, when she was screaming angry, I was like, literally, I was like, oh my god. And she was like, are you okay? Remember when she said that? And I was like, I felt the same way. I was like, are you okay?
Yeah, she did, which, I mean, everyone knows her from Juno.
Yeah.
Which is great. But, like, to see her elevated, you know, it was really, really cool. I did,
She's wonderful.
Yeah, she is.
I wish I could remember something else that she was in besides Juno.
I don't know. I know she's been in other stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I know that she has.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I
have
seen it either. Or remember her from something, like, more adult. I mean, not that Juno is, but, you know, she plays a teenager, so.
Right. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it
I
many
do, too.
times.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to talk about that. But anyway.
Sure.
Okay, so.
Yeah, Moon Boy.
And Rumor.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember which numbers they are.
No.
I knew it while I was watching it because
Number
I binged
1.
it in like 2 days. Number 1, I think is she 3?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't remember. Anyway. So, they play a romance between them on the show. But, tell me this, in the comic, did you get a feeling that number 2...
Who's number 2? Not Rumor?
No, he's the one that wants to be number 1. Diego.
Okay.
Diego and Vanya, did you think that they... Because he was making comments in the comic book about, like, oh, well, I loved you, or something like he kept... I wish I could remember the direct quotes or whatever, but I was just kind of, like, confused because what drove her away was him saying, in the comic, that he pretended to love her, or, like, she pretended to love him, or I don't remember what it was. But he made some comment about not loving her or something like that, and that pushed her away in the comic. But it was like that one moment that was like, go, you're kind of hindering us, and then she blew up and was like, I'm against you guys now.
Right.
And the weird guy transformed her, and she killed him or whatever. But it's like, yeah, in the TV show I do like it a lot better that she's
I like Jenkins' role too. He kind of replaced the role of the conductor or maestro in the comic book. In the TV show, there's this Jenkins character.
Oh, is he the boyfriend?
The boyfriend.
Guy? Yeah. And no, I liked that a lot better in the show.
I do too. Yeah.
So in the comic, at the beginning or the end, I can't remember, but there was a little bit of writing, and I'm probably getting this wrong, but it was either by the artist or the producer or someone or his publisher or someone like that, but he was talking about how sometimes you have to make sacrifices of what you want and where you see your characters going and things like that to get them into like a comic and get it out there. He was kind of saying along those lines. So I want to look up and see if he envisioned it more like what it is in the show as opposed to, I mean, as far as like Vanya always having these powers.
Are you talking about Gerard Way, the writer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or if it was like, because I mean, in a graphic novel, you can't really get like the detail that you can in a novel or in a TV show, and the background and really delve into characters like you can. And so I wonder if he's finally like been opened up and like really now he can, you know, delve into his characters. And
I wonder how much he has to do with the final product.
That's also a good question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that either.
Because it might be that he just said, you know, here it is, and people, you know.
Took it further from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be interested in learning that as well.
I really like number 5, which is the man boy.
Is it? It's not Ben. Ben is the one that died.
Yeah.
I like Klaus.
I love Klaus.
Klaus is so great.
He is Captain Jack Sparrow.
I like him a lot more in the show.
Yes.
Well, I will say I like all the characters a lot more in the show, but of course, they're more developed. They have a face. Not that graphic novels don't have faces, but
yeah.
you know what I mean? They're just fully developed
their
and you get it,
own-
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually also do like, number one, how they did his body,
Yeah.
as opposed to, in the graphic novel, he's like, almost like purely ape, besides his head.
Mm-hmm.
But in the show, he's just got ape aspects, you know, and he's like really self-conscious about it.
I found it really distracting for the first couple episodes.
Yeah,
and then
I did too, because
it.
I didn't know what was going on.
Mhm.
And where he's just like very large, and like in that dance scene where they're all dancing, I'm just like,
The dancing where the two of them were dancing?
no, at the very
Oh.
beginning where they're all dancing in their own rooms. And Klaus is dancing with his father's urine, you know? His father's ashes.
You said urine.
Urine. With his urine. But he's just like, and he's all, you know, until you learn, you know, it's like, okay, so he's really large? I don't get it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's also really sad.
I was really surprised when, I'm not surprised, I was wondering, I didn't know they were going to do it in this episode, or season, because we had gotten down to the last episode, and Klaus he was, you know, trying to make contact and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was right at the end when his hands turned blue and he let Ben do his thing and save everybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, so you weren't joking this whole time. You know, about Ben being around or, you know, being able to help or whatever. Yeah.
I really like Klaus, and I really hope obviously they have to explain how Ben died.
Yeah,
somehow.
I would like to know
and
that.
I do want to know more about that. And his power. He can, like, turn into an
He's just
octopus, kind of.
tentacles come out of his
come
stomach.
out, and, you know, it's like, I want to know more.
I do too.
I'm also really excited that they're going back in time to, like, when they were kids now.
Uh-huh.
So I wonder if they're
going to be kids and starting all over again.
Yeah. See,
Or they're going to have to manipulate their child selves into doing what's right.
It's going to be very interesting.
I don't know.
But also, if they go that much, depending on how far back they go, they could go back to where Ben is still alive and
Save him.
Save him.
That's right.
But then, what if number 5 never travels to the future and doesn't find out that the world is going to end? And I don't know because if they travel back in time to when they're kids, are they still going to know what they know now, or how does that time paradox work?
I don't know.
I don't either. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. Because, like, when I thought Vanya was going to die, I was just like, well, this sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck. But, like, I really like her character. I like her power. I like that whole storyline. And I didn't want it to just end.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh. If Rumor had just shot Vanya in the back of the head, the apocalypse probably wouldn't have happened. Right?
Probably not.
But because she lived and the laser beams came out of her body and hit the moon.
Which sounds ridiculous. Yeah.
Then,
it was so good, though.
It was so good. I love how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, too.
Mm-hmm. And then, Mr. Hargreaves, the dad.
Yeah.
At the very, before he moves to America, and his wife is dying, and he looks outside and there are all these spaceships coming up. So he's from the future.
Okay. In the graphic novel, he's a space alien. Did you catch that at the beginning where it was talking about him?
Oh, yes. I did.
And he's a space alien. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a
Another
big
planet!
reveal
That's
on the
another
show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So...
But he's dead.
I know, but that doesn't mean that they can't find
you're
that
right.
out, though.
So it might not have been that he was from the future, but if he wasn't from the future, then how did he know the apocalypse was going to happen?
I don't know. And I need to know.
Unless the aliens have some sort of knowledge.
I don't know. And see, they need to even still explain all the kids and the birth.
Yeah.
Which, like...
So it probably... My theory is that it was probably has to do with him.
That's what I thought. But
Or his species.
Yeah,
alien.
that's
I had forgotten that he was an alien, so thank you for reminding me.
They didn't say that in the show,
No,
though.
yeah, that's why I forgot about it.
So, yeah. So, I'm thinking, like, because I knew going into it, like, it's weird because watching the show first, and then when Mom, in the comic, came to the funeral, I was like, oh, I know she's a robot.
Yeah.
But you don't find that out in the show. That's, like, a reveal, kind of, in the show. Mm-hmm. And then the funeral, when he jerked off her jacket... And she's just like this frame. Like, she's not even... She's like, my arms are so uncomfortable. I was just like, okay. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
Also,
I love the reveal that the dad killed himself because I was thinking that the mom went crazy or something, of course. Mm-hmm. And I like that fake out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that she was deprogrammed to help anyone, and that's why she didn't come down when the guys were shooting up the place.
Yeah, yeah. And see, it's kind of interesting, too, because in the comic, number 2, Diego is the one who, like, ripped off her jacket at the funeral and was like, you're just a robot. And, like, throughout the comic, it seemed like he was kind of, like, cold to her. Mm-hmm. But in the TV show, he was the one that
loved her.
That loved her.
Yeah.
So
the most. I mean, they all loved her.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of interesting, like a flip-flop, because he was so upset about the idea of deactivating her, and then he did it himself. Also, I'm real sad that Pongo is dead.
Me too.
I really liked...
Pogo?
Yeah. What is wrong with me?
It's alright. No, fine.
I really liked him, though, a lot.
Too.
Also, another interesting thing, in the comic, there's more chimpanzees and apes that are like him. Yeah. But in the TV show, it's kind of like he's his only one, you know?
And it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that, like, Pogo was made to... He was special.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not like this is taking place in some kind of future where everyone's taken on, you know, the idea of giving all of these apes superhuman intelligence.
Right. So it makes more sense in the show is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
So, I mean, overall, I would say... I do like this show better.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Also, real quick, about the show.
But I will be continuing on with the...
Oh, I will too, for sure.
Cool. Sorry.
And I do know that the third one is yet to be released.
The third?
Graphic novel. But in the show... Okay, so I started watching the show because I came across a BuzzFeed article talking about facts about Umbrella Academy. And I'd kind of seen a few people on BookTube reading it. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was a show on Netflix, but I was like, I don't really know. And so I saved that article to read after I went through and watched the show. And so I gave it a chance. I ended up really liking it. So, I watched that whole freaking season.
Yeah.
Not once did I realize... That was freaking Mary J. Blige. I did not realize that until I read, like, the facts about it article, and I was like, wait, what? What? And that was so cool.
Well, I recognized her.
Yeah.
From something, and I didn't know what it was, and so I IMDb'd it.
Yeah.
I liked all of her fighting stuff. Her acting was just... She was the only one that I thought her acting was a little...
Subpar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just her line delivery felt like she was reading sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you get that as well? No. She did a great job.
Well, and you've done theater and stuff, so I feel like you're more in tune with noticing things like that than I am. Also, I don't remember her name, but the umbrella lady, the main lady, blonde, runs the business.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
She's the...
Don't remember.
Time traveler.
Yep. Don't remember her name.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I don't know her name in real life. She played on Private Practice, was the main lady. Which was a show that stemmed off of Grey's Anatomy because she played one of the main character's ex-wife off that show. And I do enjoy her. And so when I saw that was her, I got really excited. Mm. And I thought that she did a really good job too.
She did.
Yeah. And I really like her character as well.
Mm-hmm. The agents were not in the comic at all, right?
No, but I think they will be in the second one.
Oh, really?
Well, the second one is... I don't know, because the cover of the second one looks like the agents,
oh, you're right.
But as kids.
You're right.
With the guns.
I wonder.
So, I'm interested to see how that's going to differ from the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
I am too.
Or read it.
Yeah.
And see if
the
agents are in it.
Yeah. So, but they did do the whole coffee shop scenario in the comic.
What was the coffee shop scenario?
Where, like, a bunch of people came in and was looking for number 5, and then he killed them all.
Oh, yes.
But Pogo was there with him in the comic, and he wasn't in the TV show.
Right.
But then that's when I thought, oh, here come the agents. But they didn't in the comic.
Right.
So, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, everyone kind of seemed like more of a jerk in the comic. To me, I thought, like, wow, people are more rude.
Yeah.
But, again, I feel like that's kind of one of those things where you don't have time to really develop these characters in that kind of situation, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's a really good show.
It is a really good show.
Yeah. And I'm glad that there's comic books to go along with it. So that we can, talk about it and it's not so weird on the show.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting, too, that he had been working on it since, like, 2005, if not earlier.
Mm-hmm.
His publisher, I don't know if that's who this was, but he had wrote some things inside the graphic novels, the, like, first little bit and at the end. And he was talking about Gerard Way going on tour for the Black Parade album and, like, also trying to balance writing this and, like, doing everything. And it's like, this isn't something that he just picked up, whatever. And that he is truly a diehard fan of comics and things like that. And I thought that was really cool. So
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
If you guys haven't seen it, sorry we just spoiled I was going to say go watch it, but I mean, like, we just talked all about it,
Right.
so womp womp.
Hopefully we didn't spoil it, right?
But obviously, if you guys are watching this, you've probably seen it. Let us know what you think about it. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't read the comics, sorry we kind of spoiled a little bit of that. But you should still totally read it because I do really enjoy it as well.
I did too.
Yeah.
Cool. When you play the game of Tomes,
You read or you die.
come be our friends. Social media links in the description below.
And we hope you're reading a great book.
Bye.
Bye. I was going to try and say something witty, but...
We should do the intro now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey! We just read...
Spur of the moment.
No. Whoops, sorry.
Okay.
Lost, what felt like it all in a